Sorry to anybody who showed up last night and my sound was all messed up. I did discover though, if anybody's using OpenB or OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio, whatever, that when you add a new sound source, it selects 6 channels instead of just the 2 stereo channels you would want, and I don't know if it defaults to the last 2 or whatever. But anyways, if you go through and you get rid of 6, 5, 4, and 3, it leaves you with 2 and 1 stereo. You're good. So just little lessons learned there. For anybody who's watching this that didn't actually watch the disaster of a live stream last night, Languedoc G2 Demo. There's some great pedals on the pedal board too that I'll probably turn on and off here. Yeah, so the basically the signal path is from the guitar into a switcher. The switcher calls in and out the pedals. The first loop out, which is post the Klon KTR and the Shin double treble, and the Dumbloid, goes out to the in of a Mesa Rectoverb 25, and then its loop comes back out. So the loop out comes back in. Here it feeds Jackson Audio Bloom, the Tonzar Echo Czar, and the Shin's Provab DX, which is a really nice Univibe. It comes with a pedal that's it's actually really super sensitive. I wish it was less sensitive. I might dig into that in a bit. But I think everybody's probably more interested to see and learn about the Languedoc. So yeah, it's a guitar I wanted for 17 years. I saw my first show in 93, 94. Back then it wasn't even really worth paying attention to. We didn't take notes on shows or set lists or anything. It was just growing up in the Boston area. They were a band that was around, and went to see them. I saw them once at the there's a theater in Cambridge that I saw them at, and then we saw them a couple of times in Worcester, and then a couple of times in in Boston. The first show I really remember was the Meat Stick New Year's Eve, which was 96. So yeah, but between 93 and 96 I probably saw 7 shows. Great Woods, I think, was one of them. It was I think I saw one of the last full Gamehenge shows before the big break. But again, it was just me and some friends. We weren't really going crazy. But then later I did really start to appreciate it just through listening online and off CD and stuff in between. And really always appreciated Trey's tone and his playing and all of that. And I'm a tone chaser. I've been fortunate to find a career that helps me afford the toys that I've always wanted my entire life, but that's a new thing. So most of this has been built in the last 2 years or so. But anyways, it's a G2. I emailed Paul once a year right after the first of the year for 5 years. And basically, in 2020 I heard back from him. He said that he'd be open to working with me, just wanted to know a little bit more about what I was looking for. Of course, I, like everybody else, said, ooh, Koa, right away. He's like, he doesn't make Koa guitars at all anymore. I said, okay, cool, I'd like a really nice Marmar style inlay on the headstock. And he shook his head there and said, that's like a face tattoo. It's the only thing you look at for the rest of your life. And so, he limited options there, but I went with all walnut all the way around. It's a gorgeous guitar. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close up on, it's heavily flamed sides. I did too the curly maple binding, which is I think a new thing that he offers. You'll notice that the tailpiece on this is quite a bit different than the one that at least on New Year's Eve shows I was noticing the bridge was different. It's also different on I think the Ocelot and Koa #1 at least. But so he's made some changes there. It's ebony. It's got a metal thing underneath. The back is of course gorgeous. Getting situations where you actually stare at the back of the guitar for no good reason at all. Neck is extremely flamed. There's a strip of walnut going through. And then, he's got new tuners that he's putting on these things. They're nice. I think if I had the guts to, I would probably replace the locking tuners, but generally, yeah. So, and yeah, that's what it. I had these inlays done too, because I picked the triangles and blocks, and so there's like a little right there. There's a little jellyfish, and then there's another little jellyfish down here at 24. So that was just because of the inlays I picked. Also, I picked jellyfish because uh, I at one point in my career worked in public aquariums, and I loved raising jellyfish and the food that fed them and things like that. So yeah, they mean a lot to me. I met my wife at that aquarium. Anyways, you guys probably want to hear more about the guitar and not about me. So yeah, so everything runs through the amp, then the amp goes through the aux box, and of course the aux box is playing for me through the hi-fi speakers. You guys are hearing it digital, and I have a Townsend Sphere that I use for recording acoustic guitar and mandolin, and I'm using it just for voice today. I'm waiting on my little articulating boom arm so that I can actually drop it down a little bit. But anyways, so just first, like, totally clean. This is the clean channel. I'll put it on the neck humbucker. I'll keep. I won't use the single coil. The tap to start, and the series parallel will be in parallel, so that it's basically a humbucking guitar. I have the gain on the amp set so that like it will just start to break up. Hopefully, when I pop up the series parallel switch, and it's really nice to have that with a tube amp. I mean, I play this guitar through modeling amps and solid state amps as well. Like I have a Boss Katana that I love, and it does the same thing there, but it's not quite the same, especially when it comes to that infinite sustain. So, anyways, just sorry, apologies for my terrible playing, but I have to say that. So. Speaker here, so I get a little bit of monitor goodness. Yeah, so that's the neck. The middle with the series switch down is just like in a Les Paul. It's just a combination of the two pickups in parallel. It's kind of nice. It brings that treble in a bit from the bridge pickup. Between that and in series, so if I pop this up, you'll hear it bites in a little bit more. The volume goes up by quite a bit too, because I think the pickups are in the maybe 8Ks, I guess, and when you add them together, I think the impedance pops to well over 10. see him. Yeah, so that's the trouble. Now the thing is, it doesn't matter what position this is in. If you flip this up, both pickups, you don't really have a choice there. It's nice, it cleans up just like the others, but you can just turn the volume down a little more. Really nice. Yeah, but most of the time I'm playing it just on the neck, volume all the way up, tone all the way up. I get the treble set high in the amp because it tends, just the amp itself tends to get a little bit muddy at low volume. And I'm controlling, I have the output on the amp and the cabinet completely set to 0 just to eliminate one more factor. So yeah, so it's a little different, but it's don't bother to learn Fish songs. Number one, I want to enjoy them as they are played, either live or as they were recorded. And second, it's like when you've heard so many different versions of so many different songs, and you've basically heard somebody who's so excellent exercise literally every possibility or near every possibility of improvising or playing over. You just can't stand up to it. So I mostly write my own stuff because I'm always like, okay, well, at least I don't have to listen to Trey play it better. No, I'm just kidding, but I do love listening to him. I just don't play. That's about the extent of it. So what I'm going to do now is just show you a couple of the pedals, pop in, and then I'm going to stop for now, and I'm going to post this, and then I'm going to try to go live again next Sunday at 8:30. Just post in the comments of the video on either Reddit or YouTube if you'd be interested to come. So that way I'll know whether to show it myself. But just run through a couple of the pedals, give you guys an idea of the sound. I'm going to turn this speaker up first so that we can get a little more volume in the room. Apologize if there's a tremendous amount of bleed through the mic. There shouldn't be with the isolation on, but of this country that have actually been doing that all along. I'm very envious. We're very in a small, very sort of low population area, but we're miles away from one of the biggest Pfizer installations on the planet. So everybody here is all about protections and vaccines and all of that, which is good because I don't know anybody's getting seriously sick, and I hope you all are the same. But yeah, so we music venues really just have not opened up in full yet. So, but we'll get there. Totally stole that from Chris Buck. If you don't know him, check him out. So anyways, yeah, I'll kick on a couple of the pedals here. I'm going to turn the clone on. I'm going to turn the vibe on. I'll turn the vibe to a... And I'll turn the delay. The echoes are on. I'm on delay 3, which is the chorusy one, and it's set for like a second. And so you can turn this up to like get really cool.